Good morning, everyone. Good morning again. Hello, everybody. My name is Tom, and I'm not an English teacher. I'm a I'm a I'm a Thai man. I'm an ordinary man, and thank you for everyone who have been following my YouTube channel. And today I have a topic to talk to you guys about encouraging your children to study English because English is a crucial skill for our kids, especially Thai students who have been struggling learning English for many years, but they still can't speak English perfectly. Because why? Because we had learned from the wrong traditional teaching English from the Thai schools. Sorry to be honest. We have to change the way of learning English. And in today's topic, speak about I gonna speak about top 10 important phrasal verbs for your daily routine. Because this morning I watched a YouTube video and I was interested in this clip video about what are phrasal verbs. Have you ever heard about phrasal verbs? Phrasal verbs in English. If you would like to be a fluent English speaker, you have to use phrasal verbs. Yes, it's gonna help you to pick up English faster. So, just a few point, just a few points. I'm not an English teacher, and I have to admit that my English is still not good, and I have to keep going to get better at English because uh, I would like to pick up English because I want to teach my children. Yes, all of my children, not only my daughter. That is my goal of learning English. That's it. Nothing in particular. So in today's topic, I wanted to talk about phrasal verbs. Uh, spec- uh, specific, Specifically, I wanted to talk about phrasal verbs, usually native English speakers use in their daily life and their daily routines. So first, let me explain what is a phrasal verb and why are they important. I have to speak English slowly because one of my Australian friends he advised me, Tom, you have to slow down when you speak English because people will not catch the word what you said. So in this case, I think it was a good recommendation, and I have to adapt the way to speak English. I think it works. I love this way. I feel comfortable with this speed of speak English. Before I try to speak English very fast to impress people, but that was not impressive. My friend said. Okay, let's move on to the our topic. So, phrasal verbs are a type of verb They are very common in English language, especially in conversation. So, if you want to improve your conversation and speaking skills, one way to do this is to learn more phrasal verbs. So, how is a phrasal verb different than a regular verb? Well, sorry, I know I didn't pronounce the word verb clearly. Sorry about that. I noticed myself that some words of English, I still can't pronounce them perfectly, and I have to spend more time to practice about how to pronounce those sounds uh, perfectly. Okay, let's move on to our topic. Well, I have here some examples of phrasal verbs. Have look up, look over, look on, look at. So, if you notice, look is the same in all of these phrasal verbs, but the preposition up, over, on, and at, they are different. So, a phrasal verb is a verb and a preposition together. The preposition actually is what makes the meaning in the verb. So, what do I mean by this? Well, look up, look over, look on, and look at all have different meanings because they have different prepositions. So, let's look at another example of some phrasal verbs. I have here get up, get off, get over, get on, and there's many more phrasal verbs with the word get. So each of these have a different meaning. They are phrasal verbs because they each have a preposition. The preposition changes the meaning of the verb get. So get up means something completely different than to get off, get over, and get on. So in today's lesson, we are we are going to cover 10 of the most common phrasal verbs we use in daily conversation and talking about our daily routines. So the first phrasal verb I'm gonna teach you today is one of my favorites, and that's because it's my favorite thing to do in the world. What I'm talking about? Sleep in. So I love to sleep, and I love to sleep as late as possible on the weekend. So that's what I mean by sleep in. On the weekend, I sleep in until, well, for me, maybe not 11 a.m. but 10 a.m. on the weekend. I sleep in until 10 a.m. What does this mean? Well, usually I wake up very early. Usually I wake up at 6 a.m. But on the weekend, I sleep longer than usual. I stay in my bed longer than usual. So that's what I mean by sleep in. It's when you stay in your bed later than uh, later than usual. So I will notice the prepositions here is in. The verb is sleep. Together, sleep in makes a vessel verb. And here I have the definition again. It means to stay in bed, asleep longer than usual. Do you like to sleep in? Maybe you can write about that in the comments below. The next phrasal verb I have here is get up. So, get up is usually the next thing we do in the morning. When we get up, it means we leave our bed. I don't know about you. I usually get up at 6 a.m. and that's because I have a dog who wakes me up. So I get up at 6 a.m. Maybe some people get up at 7 a.m. But this again a really important vessel verb to be learned to learn. Sorry about that. Because every day we talk about what time did we get up. I got up at 6 a.m. today. Yesterday I got up at 8 a.m. So it's a very important phrasal verb. The next phrasal verb is one that maybe many of you don't know, and that's the phrasal verb head out. So when you see the word head, you probably think of this thing. That's your head. That's your head. But head can also be a verb. The verb head has different meanings. In this case, the verb head plus out means to leave the house. So, for many people who have work, they head out in the morning. For example, I head out at 8 a.m. That's the time I leave my house. So, head out has a similar meaning to leave. Leave. And again, in this case, what is the preposition? Our preposition is out. What's the verb? Head, right? So together, head and out equals a phrasal verb, right? So I head out at 8 a.m. What time do you head out at in the morning? What time do you head out at in the morning? All right. Now let's look at some other phrasal verbs we use when we talk about our everyday routines. Uh, this next phrasal verb I use a lot because it has to do with lunch. So every day at lunch, I take my lunch out of the refrigerator. I go to the microwave and I heat up my lunch. So what does this mean? Heat up, sorry, has the word heat in it, right? Heat is a verb and it means to make something hot. There is different ways to make food hot. Okay, let me repeat this sentence again. There is different ways to make food hot. For example, you might use an oven or a microwave. But heat up means that you are making food hot, and usually that food is leftovers. Leftovers? Leftovers is food that you have already cooked and put it in the fridge. Now you are taking that food out of the fridge and making it hot again. So if you think about this, you make your lunch maybe the night before work, then you go to work, you put your lunch in the refrigerator. When you take out your lunch and you put it in the microwave, we call that heating up our food. So I heat up my lunch in a microwave. I might say to my friends at work, "Oh, I will meet you for lunch soon. I need to heat up my lunch." So this means I need to make my lunch warm or hot by using a microwave or an oven. Okay, the next phrasal verb is very important one. Have talked to my sorry, have talked to many learners about exercise. And I know many of you like to exercise, which is which great, which is great. This is a great this is a great phrasal verb we can use that has the same meaning as exercise. And there's the phrasal verb work out. So work out in this case, work is the verb, out is a preposition. Together they make a phrasal verb. So work out means exercise. I work out every day, and work out can be different types of exercise. I might be lifting weights. I might be running or jogging. So there are different ways to work out. Now this next word actually has to do with working out as well. And that's the word warm up. So warm can be is a verb. Up is a preposition. Is a preposition. Together these make a phrasal verb warm up. So what's the meaning of the phrasal verb warm up? Well, it means preparing for an activity. So, for example, before I work out or before I run, I might walk. This preparing me for running. So, this is an example of warming up. Sometimes before I work out, I stretched my arms. I might do some jumping jacks. So, it's light activity or light exercise to prepare for working out. We also use this maybe in a classroom. Your teacher might give you some exercises or activities to do to wake up your brain. So your teacher might give you something to help you warm up. So it's a light or an easy version of an activity that you do to prepare yourself. So we are now cover 6 different phrasal verbs. We are going to cover 4 more that are very important to your everyday routine. So this next phrasal verb I use a lot, and that is meet up with somebody. So we have here the verb meet. We have a preposition up. Together they make a phrasal verb, right? The meaning of the phrasal verb meet up is essentially is the same like meet, but we use it more informally. So this is the type of verb we use when we talk about seeing our friends or seeing people socially. It's a very social verb. We use it when we talk about seeing people in a social context. So I meet up with my friends at a cafe. One way to remember this verb is if you think about the TV show Friends. The six friends rush. Oh, I don't know about this. Okay, the name of your friends. Okay, I think they would meet up at a coffee shop, right? So if you can think about what those friends did every day, you can remember this verb. They meet up at a coffee shop. The next phrasal verb is an important one as well. Go out. Somebody probably know the verb go. Go is a very important verb in English. is usually one of the first verbs people learn. Go out has a bit of a different meaning because remember what we take a verb and we add a preposition. We create a new vessel verb. So what does go out mean? Well, it means to leave the house. Uh, specifically, specifically, so I go out at 8:30 p.m. This means I leave my house at 8:30 p.m. You know, sometimes we talk about teenagers. What time are you doing out? What time are you going out at? If you have, if you know a teenager, teenagers love going out. This means they love leaving the house to see their friends. The next vessel verb is sort of along the same lines. Uh, sort of, sort of along the same lines. Go out means to leave the house. Get in means to return to your house, to return to your home. Sorry. So this one is to leave, whereas get in is to return home. So I get in at 10 p.m. You might talk about this in the past. Last night I went to a party. I got in at about midnight. So this means return home. And again, we have that word get, which is, the verb. We have in, which is the preposition. Together, what do we call them? We call we call get in a phrasal verb. Okay, so now we are going to look at last the very last phrasal verb of our daily routines that we talk about today. So this next phrasal verb is my mom's favorite phrasal verb, and that is the phrasal verb tidy up. So what does it mean to tidy up? Well, it means to organize your things and to put things in the proper place. So if you are a messy person, maybe you have an apartment and it's a little messy and you have people coming to visit, you probably want to tidy up your apartment. So it's another way to say clean, but we are talking more about organizing and putting, your clothes into the closet. Maybe you have books on the table. You pick them up and put them on a book on the bookcase. So when you tidy up, you put things into the right place where they are supposed to go. So here's a simple example. I tidy up my apartment, especially before people come over. So we have covered 10 important phrasal verbs we use in everyday conversation. So I wanted to thank you for listening, and I also would like to invite you to take this episode to get more practice on these verbs. Okay, so thank you so much for watching and listening, and I will post more video about learning English journey with my student. Bye. Have a nice day.